morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you're watching this live interview from. My name is Michael Firth, one of the founding Field Advisory Board members with Numi, which is a company taking the world by storm, creating a huge storm, in fact, with how much growth we're having in 65 countries around the world with an amazing breakthrough called Hydrostat, which is something that has never been discovered before, that is transforming the health, nutrition industry, as well as skincare as well. With that in mind, I'm here in the beautiful Sunshine Coast. I'm going to be interviewing people in the Northern Hemisphere as well. Type in where you're from, or do me a favor, type in what the weather's like where you are, because we're here in Sunshine Coast. They reckon there's cyclonic weather heading this way, but it is summer, it's beautiful, and maybe we'll share some of those comments in the chat. Now, before we get into the interviews, we have a theory or a philosophy here at Numi that is, you get to the head with a fact and the heart with a story. So with that in mind, you may be watching this right now because we're live streaming into 6 different places, and perhaps you don't even know what Numi is. So with that in mind, I'm going to play a quick video which will give you an insight to the science, and then once that's finished, we're going to come back with 3 fantastic interviews.
Best delivery method for music? Remember when this was the best delivery method for supplements? Every industry evolves and improves with new breakthroughs in science and technology. Here at Numi, we've used a proprietary technology to solve an issue that's been around since nutritional supplementation began: the problem of absorption. So many of today's supplements are less effective due to their inability to be absorbed naturally by the body. Using our own proprietary Hydrostat nano delivery breakthrough, we reduce the particle size of critical nutrients smaller than ever before, allowing them to absorb in your mouth while swishing for 30 seconds or more. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's responsible for boosting your energy, detoxifying cells, reducing inflammation, and boosting the immune system. If glutathione is so amazing, why have you never heard of it? Because glutathione is extremely fragile, and if taken orally, it will be destroyed via the digestive process, rendering it virtually useless to the body, until now. NutriSwish applies nanotechnology to achieve maximum absorption. Now, glutathione and other nutrients can be absorbed simply and quickly by swishing in the mouth instead of being destroyed in the stomach. Using this same nanotechnology, we've created the ultimate skincare product, Numi Skin. We've been able to achieve unparalleled absorption for key ingredients, including collagen, hyaluronic acid, and more. Some of the top skin experts in the world work together to create the ultimate blend of skin-enhancing nanonutrients, creating the most amazing before and after results. With our nano solution, you no longer have to wait months to experience the effects of skincare and supplementation. Our customers are noticing a difference within a matter of days. Don't wait to look, feel, and live your best life. A new you starts with Numi.
Alrighty, so that video gives you a really good indication of our science and our breakthrough. So we have transformed absorption, bioavailability, and even cell utilization where other products just simply cannot go. So this new frontier is having spectacular results for people in health and nutrition. Now you probably see at the bottom of the screen scrolling along, it says a random winner will be called each week. Win a free bottle of product. Simply type in "pick me please," and you go in the draw for the weekly draw. Now, last week, we went through all of the people who typed in "Pick Me Please," and Jane Ellis Scott is our winner. So, Jane, if you want to reach out to me via whoever brought you to the table, that would be great. We'll make sure a free bottle of product gets in your hands for typing in that last week. As always, with that in mind, we want to make sure that everybody knows this is a safe place for bringing any of your contacts, and of course, always get back to the person that sent you to this video, not me, for more information, and we'll utilize this every single week. Now, so as I said, type in "Pick Me Please" if you want to be sharing in a free bottle of product. There's people logged on from everywhere, which I'll put on the screen shortly. So with that in mind, the first interview that I'd like to start with this week is Cheryl from Montreal, Canada. So it's a lot colder over there than it is in the Sunshine Coast, I've got to tell you. She's 60 years of age. She certainly doesn't look it, you're going to agree with me. She's been full-time in the home-based business industry now for over 10 years. So welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you so much, Michael, for having me.
My pleasure. Now, tell me, what was the first thing that you noticed when you started using our products?
Well, sleeping better. Not just sleeping better, but I'm dreaming again, which is kind of cool, and often more than one, several dreams throughout the evening, which is kind of neat. And I don't recall doing that for quite some time until I started using Numi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, it's funny. I've heard people say before that they dream in color, and I thought back and I thought to myself, because I've been supplementing with glutathione now for about 15 years. I'm like, you know what? That's really weird because I do. I don't remember dreaming in black and white, but apparently some people do. Now, you've also been a former bodybuilder,
Yes.
and you were quite desperate when you came across our product. Tell us about that.
I was actually. I've been suffering with a lot of discomfort in my hips, so much so that I couldn't even walk to the corner of my street, which was very debilitating and very demoralizing. We have a new grand dog, and trying to walk him was always difficult. I had to stop many times and rest. And 3 days in using NutriSwish, that discomfort virtually went away, like mind boggling.
3 days.
So much so that I began doing my walks, walking to a little forest that's down the street from us, and was able to walk now anywhere from 3 to 5 kilometers virtually without any discomfort.
Wow, wow, that is transformative. That's amazing. Now, I understand you're also using our skin product. What have you found with that
Yes.
one?
Well, funny enough, using it, yes, and I took my pictures before and after, and kind of reluctantly in a way because I really didn't expect to see any change using it, simply because I've been on I believe, a very high quality marine collagen for the last several years. And so I kind of felt like I had that transformation of my skin. But wow, 31 days after, like my before and after, or before and better picture, um, definitely was eye opening. Definitely a reduction in the puffiness of my face, much better hydrated. My complexion was brighter. I would say that my pores were smaller, diminished lines, many people complimenting me, and just had dinner at someone's house a couple of weeks ago, and she had no idea what my age was. And when I told her, she just about fell off her chair. She said, "There's no way you look your age." And I said, "Well, that's why you need to use Numi."
Absolutely. Well, like I can say, from looking you from a computer screen to a computer screen here, you definitely do not look your age. So
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much for sharing your transformative experience.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Now, in between two roses, we have a thorn. I always say that if we have one gentleman, we always seem to be outnumbered, two women to every guy, which is totally fine. But what I love to do now is interview Rod from California. Rod's actually 67 years of age. He's also successfully been in the home-based business industry for 30 years. He was actually called Roger Ramjet when he was in school because he ran so fast. So welcome, Rod.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for having me this evening.
My pleasure. Now, I understand in your case you hadn't used glutathione before coming across Numi, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. After being in the industry for 30 years, I've seen all types of products, but most of them were singular based, and I'd never heard of glutathione before Numi.
Right. So what was the first thing that you noticed when you started using our products if you'd already been using other forms of nutrition?
Well, the very first thing after Nicole called me up and said, "You got to have this stuff," she said, "I know you love your complexion." And I tried to get her to send me the little sample bottle, but she said, "You know what? It's a better value to get the whole bottle." So I ordered the whole bottle and got the whole swish. There it goes. And so I started the very first day with the swish. I took my two capfuls and I just kind of, sat around waiting to see what was going to happen, And I would say a few minutes into that, I just felt like a brain fog start to lift. I thought it was really a placebo. I called my daughter. I say, "Britt, come here. I want you to try this." She said, "What, Poppy?" I said, "Here, just take two capfuls." And she took two capfuls, and so we were swishing it around, and she swallowed it. She went back, and she came back about 10 minutes later. She said, "Poppy, I feel something." I said, "Does it feel good or does it feel bad?" She said, "No, it actually feels good." And so that was kind of my very first introduction into Numi and the swish and glutathione. So I got very much interested and wanted to know more.
It's interesting, isn't it? Over the years with Numi, you wouldn't be amazed how many times I hear the word, "Oh, it could be a placebo, but I feel great." I'm like, that's the standard thing you hear. This placebo must be pretty effective, but because it works every time I hear it. Having said that, you've obviously noticed some other benefits as well. Tell us about those.
Well, the very next thing that I noticed after I talked to Nicole, she said, "You got to use this Nutri-Skin." I said, "Well, okay." She said, "Just spray your face, 2, 3 times a day, but you got to take a picture." Well, I didn't notice that until about the third day. So I finally took a snapshot, and then I took another one a week later and another one 3 weeks later. But I kept looking in the mirror. Michael's like, "Do I see anything? Do I see anything?" I couldn't see anything, but when I put the pictures side by side, I started noticing subtle changes. The appearance of my complexion and skin tone balancing out. Around my cheeks used to be really, really dark. And up here, I had bad lines and laugh lines and stuff. And so as I'm taking these pictures, they're kind of looking like they're going away. So I'm like really happy with this, because before I was using a 3-step program that you had to put it on, and with people of color, if it has any white residue, it shows up and you look like a clown. So with this, it was 1 step and no clown. I was extremely happy.
That's awesome.
Go.
Now, one more thing. We go just back 1 step. When you're talking about the internal product of NutraSwish, so guys, we have 2 products. NutraSwish, which is internal, you put it in your mouth. A couple of capfuls is 1 serving. You swish it for 30 seconds or more. Everything absorbs under the tongue into the bloodstream in 30 seconds, into the organs 70 seconds later. There is no other form of glutathione supplementation that comes anywhere close to the effectiveness, because our particle size is down under 10 nanometers, which even liposomals, even the modern ones, can't get close to. So very different form of absorption and bioavailability and cell utilization. Now, you mentioned something at 67 about digestion and your hands. Tell about that.
Yes, Michael. What I noticed, or my daughter noticed before I did, when we were sitting down having dinner about 3 weeks in, and we were eating, talking, chatting, and she stopped and she said, "Poppy." I said, "Yes." She said, "Have you noticed you're not burping, belching, all the things that would come?" I could not go 2 minutes without that occurring. And so I hadn't noticed it because it was just kind of slipped away. But I was like, wow, you're right. And so my confidence level went way up there. I was kind of self-confident before, but now with this renewal sight, and I even when I go walk my dog in the park, the appearance of things that seem to be far away now seem to be clearer. The birds and the ducks and geese and stuff, it was like I was hearing it in stereo. I mean, all of these things, they was subtle. It wasn't immediate, but it was subtle. But what I did was I started charting all of this stuff down, because I can't keep up with all of this. But all of these things, and in my hands and my knees, because I used to work out prior military too, so I would have some of these aches and pains in the morning. They're not there. Can't make any claims. I know I feel better, and I don't feel what I used to feel. I hear what I didn't used to hear, and I can see what I didn't used to see. So it was just amazing. On another note, working out at the gym, my endurance was better, and also afterwards my recovery was better, and my weight, I've added 30 to 40 pounds more to my exercises.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I want to say, guys, when we're talking about, your body doing what it does, boosting glutathione, your glutathione levels will be the optimal about 18 to 20 years of age. They drop about 10 to 15% per decade in a completely healthy individual. So it's normal to have discomfort that Rod mentioned, and those sorts of things, aches and so forth, maybe dissipate over time. Our product is simply giving your body the glutathione that needs to do its job optimally. Okay, so our product doesn't make your eyesight come back, it doesn't make your hair grow back, but what it does do is give the body everything it needs to do all those things itself. That's a really important thing. So our product's not designed to treat, cure, or prevent anything, but that is a fantastic story and some fantastic feedback. So thank you, Rod. Now, what we're going to do is segue to another road